Good day to all attendees. I'm happy to welcome you to our ESPRESSO webinar, Go Digital Document Management in SuccessFactors. My name is Philip Robbes, Sales Manager in the Centric team, and today I would like to ask you a question. How to run an HR shared service without digitization? To answer this question, I have someone with me who has been working on the topic of digitization for many, many years. Welcome, Howard Frere.
Philip, thank you very much indeed, and welcome to everybody. As I say, my name is Howard Frere. I work with Philip and have been doing so in the business development role, assisting him and Centric moving into and extending their reach in the English-speaking parts of the globe. And I'm very pleased to be here today because, as Philip has said, I've been working in software and digitization and digitalization for getting on for a little longer than 20 years now. So this is a particular passion of mine, and I'm very pleased to be here today.
Thank you. So Howard, from your perspective, what is the answer to this question?
Well, now this is a very important point, and I think you see here this lady, of course, is struggling there. So those of you that are running small shared service centers with limited amounts of employees, it's probably something you've been struggling with, even with small volumes of content. Filing cabinets, paper documents, electronic documents coming at you. It's very, very difficult. I think we can all agree there. And I think it's painful. And we don't want to put your HR team and indeed your ultimately operational employees through any more pain than they have to, because they have a lot of challenges there. So I think the view here is, let's see what those day-to-day challenges are without a digitalization approach and without access to documents, because we're going to answer this question in more detail for you. So let's move on to one of the key drivers here. And one of those key drivers, unsurprisingly, is your C-suite, and in particular, your CEO and your head of operations will, of course, as this Forrester study shows, you're under pressure and your team are under pressure to make sure that your HR shared service center is servicing effectively your employee requirements in order that you can deliver exceptional service within your business and grow the business. And that is something that will keep CEOs up at night thinking about how to do that. And you want to help your C-suite deliver on the objectives for the organization by, of course, being as efficient and effective as possible and be able to really support the organization and help drive to move it forward. But of course, there are some challenges in the day-to-day. So let's move on and look at some of the questions that you're probably thinking about and some of the challenges here. So here are just 5 points. Now, there are many, many points that you could be looking at here, but let's drill into a couple of 3 of these just to see how this might be impacting you on a day-to-day basis without a digitalization approach. So the first thing is, does your HR team struggle to find HR documents quickly enough for the business? This is, of course, a challenge. Even if you've got multifunction devices and you're able to image some of those paper documents that you might still be dealing with, where do you put them? Can you find them quick enough to answer the questions when you get a call from the business? That might well be a challenge today. And of course, are those documents sitting in multiple places? If you're a global organization, you'll recognize that that's immediately a problem. But you just could be a multi-site operation working, say, in the UK or in the US or anywhere there. And if you've got silos of information sitting either electronically in file systems or, of course, God forbid, in filing cabinets, then, of course, you've immediately set yourself a challenge there. So you want that information to be instantly accessible to your people through something as effective as SuccessFacotrs or indeed HCM. And of course, the next question is, and you're measured on your key performance indicators, of course, and you'll work with the business to define those. But of course, one of the challenges will be there, how effectively are you able to answer employees' questions so you can be seen as the most efficient part of the organization supporting employees. And again, without being able to access the touch points on those documents you're going to have a problem. Specifically, if you send out a document to somebody around payment, for example, and they ask you a question about that and you can't access the document on their call, what's going to be the impact? It's going to be a negative. And then, of course, you've got to support your operational managers, of course. And, of course, with HCM and with SuccessFactors, you've got employee and manager self-service. Fantastic functions to be able to take the pressure off your HR professionals in your HR shared service center. But, of course, if you can't access and they can't access the documents that they are having questions on from their line employees, that's going to create further friction there. And of course, one of the things you don't want with SuccessFactors is to throw documents into a virtual black hole there. So that's one of the challenges that you want to be able to avoid, I would suggest. And then finally here, are you able to respond fast enough to organizational change? Everything is moving at an increased rate of knots now. So of course, you've got to be able to move fast. And again, if there's a drag because you haven't digitized your documents and you haven't got a digital approach to handling electronic documents easily accessible through SuccessFactors, then of course you're going to slow that organizational change down. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at the challenge of giving you and your team one source of the truth in HR. You want to be able to have everything at your fingertips when you need it, to be able to answer those questions and be able to proactively support the organization. So I'm going to hand over to Philip to talk a little bit about how the solution solves these challenges. Philip, over to you.
Well, thank you. Now, these are many more questions, and I would like to show you a way to find an answer to all of them. From our point of view, it is necessary to have a single point of truth, as Howard said. Therefore, a deep integration into the leading HR management system is mandatory. In our case, this is SAP HCM or SuccessFactors. To illustrate this as intuitively as possible, I would like to briefly address the employee lifecycle. Some important events are shown here as examples. In a modern company, these events obviously want to be supported with digital and intuitive solutions. SAP offers the following solutions for that. So in yellow here, SuccessFactors, and in blue, HCM. However, both HCM and SuccessFactors have weaknesses in the area of handling documents. Therefore, we support these events with different functions and processes. Some of them are shown here as examples. For example, the creation of an employment contract with data from SuccessFactors e-recruiting, or the creation of any kind of documents like bonus statements and so on. Another example is the automatic archiving of the recruiting documents in the employee file, or the employee self-service to upload a document, like for example, a driver's license. So let's have a closer look at the employee filing application. Here you see a brief fact sheet of Centric Employee File with the most important points. From a daily work perspective, you really want to manage all documents at one central point. Then, of course, you want an intuitive, mobile and location-independent access at any time. But not only the access must be easy. The filing of scanned documents, email attachments, or other documents using drag and drop must be fast and easy as well. Later, all file documents need to be found via an intuitive full-text search. And last but not least, there must be a set of functions to work with the documents like resubmissions, processes, and so on. In addition, you find here some facts about the integration in SuccessFactors and some important facts regarding the security of your documents. But for today, I don't want to go into too much detail. So let's have a really quick look how the application integrates into SuccessFactors and how it's look like. Therefore, I'm switching to my browser, and as you can see here, we are in a demo environment for a SuccessFactors homepage. So this here you can see is SuccessFactors standard, and here you found some tiles from Centric regarding the Centric applications. The package of Centric Employee File includes several tiles, like a task app, for example, an index app, or a dashboard where all your KPIs are displayed. But for now, let's focus on the employee file itself. So clicking that button, a search field pops out. And here we can search for any employee in SuccessFactors we want to see the employee file of. So let's go on with Gordon Allison, a supply chain director here. And as you can see, we already see a file structure, the file header, and so the complete employee file of Gordon Allison. And the most common function you might use is the search, of course. So let's search for a contract. And as you can see here, we have a live search. So the hit results that instantly comes up. And the full text search highlights all found words and highlights it in bold. So here we found the word contract, for example. And to show you how intuitive the search really is, you can add any numbers or whatever you like. And here we found the contract from July 2018. We found the word contract, and we found the 18 in the date as well. And by clicking on the document, it immediately is displayed in the browser integrated viewer, and you can now work with the document. So let me close this for a second and open this 3 dots menu. So here, of course, we provide a couple of functions to work with the documents. So of course, we can delete a document, we can move it, we can show some details, which is really interesting regarding the deletion rules and the GDPR compliance. We can download it, we can move it, we can create resubmissions, rename it, send it via email, and so on and so forth. So basically everything you might want to need. And maybe just one specialty here, we can activate a 4 eyes principle for the actions of deletion, moving, and uploading of documents. So if you have any requirements regarding that, we can always be compliant with your internal regulations regarding 4 eyes principles. So as you can see, the solution is highly integrated and has the same look and feel like SuccessFactors. And for today, that's everything I wanted to show you live in the webinar. So let me go back to the presentation slides. And now I would like to provide you a brief overview about our portfolio. On the right side, you find Centric Employee File here in red. And underneath, you find the Centric Payslip box. It is the little sister of the employee file, enables customer to easily distribute the payroll documents to the employees in a digital way. And looking at the left side, you see our document builder, which enables customer to easily manage the document templates, their text blocks, and incoming data from SuccessFactors or HCM to generate documents. Of course, this is possible with a workflow component as well. So if you are interested in getting in touch with us, here are your options. First, of course, you can contact me at any time. Here you find my contact details, so just let me know if you might need a presentation or some information. The second option is you can test the application in a demo environment for free. So just follow that link, and then the system automatically generates a demo environment for you. And the third option is you can find us in the SAP store as well to have maybe a closer look or further information. So do you have any questions? Please write them in the chat. Because of the time within an ESPRESSO webinar, we are limited to 50 minutes here. We do not answer them live, but we will send you the answers to all questions and to all participants via email later. I have one, please. If you leave the webinar, a brief feedback questionnaire with 2 or 3 questions will pop up. So please take the time to provide some feedbacks for us. Now, we are already at the end of our webinar. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to talking to you or welcome you in one of our other webinars. Stay safe and goodbye.
Thank you, Philip. That was really good. Fantastic presentation showing really how easy this solution is, particularly with the SuccessFactors. So I commend you all to give it a try, see how you get on with it. But as I say, I would like just to thank Philip for the opportunity to speak today. And I wish you all a very, very successful journey into digitalization with Centric. Thank you again. Bye-bye.